And what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Talkin Football podcast. Today we are going to be recapping Week 5. We got scores, we got injury updates, we got headlines, ballers and fallers, and of course, dogs of the week. You're not going to want to miss it. Be sure to stick around for the entire video. While you're here, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow my Instagram account at Talkin Football Pod. Same handle on Instagram as it is on YouTube. Also, hey, while we're here, I totally lost my train of thought. Let's just hit the intro and let's get right into it. I'm still thinking about what I was about to say. I have absolutely no idea, but that's okay. I do know what I want to talk about. Let's talk about the fact that we are already at week 6. Already! That's crazy. We're already 5 weeks in. We're already at week 6. We are 33% of the way through at the end of this week. That's crazy. That's some crazy talk right there. That is absolutely insane. I hate how fast it's going. Playoffs will be here before you know it, which I'm not happy about. I'm not happy about it. I'm not. It's been fun though. It's been a lot of fun. So why not just jump right into it? Let's talk about it. Week 5 injury report. Nothing a lot to report actually, which is a good thing, for this segment. One of the big ones out of Philly, Landon Dickerson, injured his ankle. There's no official confirmation on how much time he's going to miss. Some think it could be multiple weeks. Some think it could be none. We don't know what that's going to bring. And it's a short week. When I'm recording this on Tuesday before Week 6 Thursday Night Football. I'm not sure if he's playing or not. I'm assuming that he will. But if he doesn't, then they're probably going to be a little bit more lenient with this. So just keep an eye on that in Philadelphia. Antonio Gibson tore his ACL. He's out for the year. Travion Henderson, fantasy owners, hold on. I think we have a chance, all right? Don't worry about it too much. So Gibson out with an ACL injury. It was hard to get a good look on what happened. I know it was a kickoff return, and he tore his ACL on it. It didn't look great. It wasn't like Tyreek Hill bad, but I think you could tell that something was definitely wrong with him. Wrong with his leg, rather. Marion Hampton with an ankle injury as well. He's going to the IR. He's going to be out for 4 weeks. I believe that's it. I don't think he's going to be out for any longer, which is huge for the Chargers. I mean, they're without Najee Harris and Marion Hampton right now, and Hampton was just turning a corner. So where they're going to go, I'm not totally sure. I know they have Vidal, who I think is a solid running back. He'd probably be a good RB2 on the majority of teams. He's RB3 there in LA. So I would definitely, I think he could definitely pick up the slack there with the Chargers. I believe Hampton should be back after 4 weeks, so I wouldn't worry about this being a long-term thing for the Chargers. Tyrion Arnold hurt his shoulder. What was originally feared to be not good, as Dan Campbell said, I believe, and that it might be season-ending or close to season-ending, comes out that Adam Schefter reported earlier today that it might only be a couple weeks. He might be back by the end of the month. That's massive for the Lions. They struggle in that secondary. Having a guy like Tyrion Arnold, who's actually turning a corner. He's really playing. He's playing much better ball. He has been playing much better ball. The Lions as a whole, man, week 1 seems like a way long time ago. This team is totally different. Well, not totally different. They're the same. Week 1 was a complete outlier. I mean, Arnold's been playing really well. That shoulder injury wasn't. I don't think it's going to be. He'll be back for the playoffs. When they make it. It's just a matter of how much they're going to use him. Other than that, I don't think there's that many more injuries. I mean, I'm serious. I don't think there's that much more, which is very nice to see. That's very nice. I know a couple weeks ago, I think I had a really long injury report, and I'm just going on and on and on about injuries. But I will say that's very nice that I don't have to talk about injuries that much. I can talk about the Mark Sanchez thing, but I think we all know kind of what's going on there, and I think that's that's up to your own discretion if you want to look up what's going on. It's not well, I mean, it's not great. It's not something I want to talk about. Let's talk about notable headlines from this past week. We'll get to the trades in a little bit. Let's talk about the fines. Two major fines. I mean, like big time fines. Usually when you see fines, you're like, all right, maybe like 15K. I mean, 15K isn't anything. It's like not really much for these players. You're like, oh, Cooper DeJean, fine for taunting. Yeah, which did happen this week. Or was it last week or was it this week? I don't know. It was last 2 weeks. Usually you see like the 15K, like the 21Ks, nothing more than that. Jerry Jones was fined 250,000 smackaroos for giving the bird to a Jets fan or Jets fans. Checks out, first off. I mean, I know you got the NY behind me, but it checks out. That's what Jerry Jones does. I mean, I think the picture I saw was pretty funny. He does not care. And with all due respect, I know the Jets are not a great team, but look, the Cowboys have been playing pretty good football. They have been playing good football. It's so hard for me to say that. It really is. But they've been playing really, really well. Dak has been playing on another level. I mean, I haven't seen Dak play this well ever. Last time I saw Dak play this well was in his rookie year, or first year starting. What was 2016, whatever that year was? I think it was his rookie year when Romo went down. He's like finally back. He's playing so well right now. I talked about him last week and why he should be comeback player of the year. I believe I have him as at this point. He's just been spectacular. Dak Prescott. George Pickens has been really good. Javonte Williams. Dog, certified dog, not a dog of the week. He was not part of the voting, probably could have been, but Javonte Williams has been fantastic. And for what it's worth, yeah, you traded Micah Parsons, but guess what? What are they 2-2-1 now? Is that right? Stats don't lie. You're 500 after 5 weeks, which is really a really odd visual, but it's the truth. I mean, you're 500 after 5 weeks. You traded away your star player. I mean, you're saving money, even though you're the most expensive or the richest team in all of pro sports by a pretty good margin too. But they have a pretty good team. They do. Another fine I saw, the Cardinals, this is not an NFL fine. The Cardinals themselves fined Jonathan Gannon $100,000 for an altercation he had on the sideline with running back Emery Demarcado. If you guys don't know what happened with Demarcado, look it up, see what happened. Before we get into breaking down what happened on the sideline, I have such a hard time thinking why players even think about slowing down before you're in the end zone. Unless you know 110% there's no one within like 30 yards of you. I don't get it. It's just not... why are you dropping the ball? And it's happened a lot. I think this is either the third or fourth time it's happened this year. And the second in the last 2 weeks. Just doesn't make sense. Hold on to the ball. Even the Deshaun Jacksons of the world, who will run backwards, and the Golden Tates will run backwards and go, oh, touchdown, whatever. They hold on to the ball. These scrubs. Look, can I run 76 yards and not get tackled? Probably not. Definitely not, actually. Hold on to the ball. It's not that hard. And the thing is, here, a lot of people have been hating on A.D. Mitchell for what happened to him last week. Last week. And that I think is a little bit different. What happened with Mitchell and what happened with Demarcado, they're two separate things. The same result, two separate things. A.D. Mitchell, I think he was trying to reach and celebrate at the same time, and in doing that, he lost the ball. Makes you look like a total buffoon, sure, but I feel like that one is a little bit more like, okay, you know what, fine, fair enough. Demarcado, he just dropped the ball. or maybe got knocked out. No, I think he just dropped the ball. I just don't get it. Like me personally, maybe I'm tweaking out, but if I'm in the NFL, no matter what, if I have 100 touchdowns or 1 touchdown, or it doesn't matter, I'm holding on to that ball until I'm in. Maybe not. Maybe I'm like, I just don't get it. Hold on to the ball. That's one thing when Saquon Barkley was with the Giants, that, you guys know his, I mean, I don't want to say his signature is like when he does like this or whatever, but like, there'll be times where he runs into the end zone. He knows he's got it, and he'll do like the layup into the end zone. I would not, and maybe I'm a tweaker for it, but I would not celebrate until I saw the replay. I would say, okay, he's in. Just to make sure. There's no reason to be doing all of that. None. Maybe like get into the end zone and then do a layup as a celebration or something. It's not that hard. What's wrong? There was like a 4-year period where everyone did Gronk spikes. Why can't we just do that again? Why do we have to drop the ball for going in the end zone? It's the stupidest. It's so lazy. And it's a shame that Benson and Connor are out for Arizona, because this dude should be cut, but they have nowhere else to go to. I think Bam Knight is their RB2, and I think he's all right. He's like a Devin Singletary. He's like, oh, he's all right. He's good. I just don't get it. Why are you dropping the ball like that? And funny enough, it led to something, and we'll talk about that later. So let's break down what happened on the sideline. So Jonathan Gannon goes up to Demarcado, and I think there was a couple offensive linemen around Demarcado saying, like, "Oh no, you're good. I know, like, you can't say like anything derogatory to your teammates on the sideline 9 out of 10 times." I'm telling you something. I'd go up to him and say, "You're an idiot. Like, hold on to the ball." Like, it's so dumb. It hurts my head. Why? Like, why? Basically, I think what happened was Gannon was talking to him, yet like screaming in his face. Like, I don't know what you couldn't read his lips, but he was like totally going all in, saying like, what are you doing? What is this about? Why are you doing, whatever? And then at the end, I'm pretty sure Gannon shoved his player. That you can't do. That's a big no-no. Arizona fined him $100,000 for that. Fair enough. You can't really do that. You're trying to fire players up, go ahead. But you can't be, doing all that mess. You know what I'm saying? Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That was it pretty much for the fines. Jones and Gannon combined $350K worth of fines. That's crazy talk right there. It's funny. Today I'm recording this. 2 trades that came out. 2 trades. And we're getting closer to the deadline. 2 trades. We'll talk about the one. I mean, I don't want to say the lesser of the 2, but one that definitely caught my eye a little bit. The Ravens, who actually picked up C.J. Gardner-Johnson and put him on the practice squad, made another trade for another safety, which actually doesn't make sense because Kyle Hamilton is to come down. I'm just thinking about that now. Unless they're looking to beef up their secondary, I think that's fair too. So the full trade, if I'm not mistaken, was to the Chargers edge rusher Odafe Oweh. Funny enough, we just talked about, I think I was like, it was Odafe Oweh and because Matabuke had the neck injury. I think it's Oweh and a 7th for safety Alohi Gilman and a 5th. So you're trading a really good safety. Maybe not really good. You're trading a good safety for a good edge rusher. And the draft capital swaps. Oweh had 10 sacks last year. I did not know that. I did not know he reached double digits. I know he's been better than he had a really, really slow start to his NFL career. So I can get that. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a very interesting trade for both teams. I feel like it was unnecessary for both teams. The Ravens, I mean, and I get you need depth, but like trading Away, I mean, look, Ravens fans, tell me if I'm wrong. I haven't really watched a lot of Ravens games this year. If he's not playing, then yeah, sure. I would just say, yeah, no. I mean, if you want to play Mike Green more, then yeah, I think that's a fair trade, and because you're getting a good safety out of it too. But you got to be a better position to go after here. You're Marlon Humphrey's hurt. Like, you go after corners, maybe go after like skill positions. I don't really. They're just, you're so banged up. Anything helps, but like, you think you wouldn't go to the safeties, especially after you already added CJ Gardner-Johnson. I think it's a good trade though for the Chargers. I'm still trying to figure out where Oweh is going to fit. Oweh went to Penn State. And I was trying to figure out if there was a connection with Harbaugh. I don't think there is. I mean, Harbaugh played him obviously, but I mean, you have Khalil Mack, who I think he's near the end of his career. I feel like he said he's going to retire at the end of the season. I feel like he said that in the offseason. Maybe I'm tweaking out. And then you also have Tuli Pelotu, who had a 4-sack game against the Giants, so you know he can be really explosive. Oweh is like, he's a really good edge rusher, kind of in the middle of power and finesse, I would say. More on the power side, but he can do whatever you need him to. So how he's gonna slide into that defense, I'm a little curious to see, because they're struggling right now. So I'm struggling to comment on it and saying, oh, this grade, because like, I can't really grade it, and when I don't know how either player is gonna fit in either scheme. The bigger trade was a quarterback trade. No, not Russell Wilson. It was Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco traded from the Browns in the division to the Cincinnati Bengals. Full trade is Flacco and a 6th for a 5th. Okay. So I knew that, if you guys were not aware, I knew the Bengals were looking at options that were not Jake Browning. He threw 3 picks on Sunday. Yes, I know we had the 2 deep touchdowns to Chase, or 1 medium-ish touchdown and then 1 deep touchdown to Chase. I get that. But, I mean, you got to look at it in the grand scheme of things. He's kind of been on the struggle bus a little bit. He's been on, not a little bit, he's been on the struggle bus a lot of bit outside of those couple touchdown passes. So they were like, look, we got to save us somehow, because we're not going to have Burrow for a while. Who can save us? And you go to Joe Flacco. Okay. So you don't give up a lot. You have a 5th-round pick. You also got a 6th-round pick back. I mean, that's like pretty much the same thing. And especially if it's the Browns should have a high pick anyways. So, that 6th-round pick, you're moving back from like the middle of the 5th round to the early 6th round is really not that. It's not like a grand difference, So now I'm assuming Flacco is going to start sometime soon. I don't know if I don't think he's going to start this weekend, but I think maybe next week he might. What does this mean for Cincy? It means that there is a road. They're on the road now. Their season started for all 4-wheel drive on a nice paved road. Then Burrow gets turf toe. And now you're driving off-road and like mud. Or you're driving off-road in dirt. Then Browning starts to play. Not Jake Browning we saw against the Vikings not last year, the year before. It was just some ugly thing, like when you're playing Madden, the sliders are turned all the way down. When you have a 0 overall quarterback. That's kind of what it was like watching Jake Browning. It was ugly. So you went from driving on the paved road to on the dirt, which is fine, and now you're driving in mud. Joe Flacco puts you back on the dirt. He gives you a way back onto the road. Is it a super efficient way? Not necessarily, but is it like a smart way? Yes. Flacco is going to be a guy when he starts, or if he starts, I don't really know what their plan is there. He's going to be a guy that, look, be real. Joe Flacco is not going to make the Hall of Fame. There's not an argument to get him in. He is Hall of Very Good. I mean, that's what it is. So he has no reputation to disgrace. Actually, I would say the fact that he's still playing at the level he is actually helping him. And Cleveland, really, realistically, they only benched him because they wanted to see what their rookie quarterbacks had, not because they were trying to win. If I'm Joe Flacco and they're like, oh, no, we're benching you, I wouldn't say, oh, it's because they suck. It's because they're just trying to, you're not the option here. They got to see what they got with the other guys. That's what the Giants do with Dart, So, Flacco, you got nothing to lose. Am I saying you should take deep shots if you're playing? Absolutely not. But Flacco gives them a little bit more of a chance to win. And considering where the Bengals are, 2-3 after 5 weeks, I believe, it kind of gives them whatever happens. You're at a point where, whatever. Burrow, let's just say, total hypothetical, you're 6 and let's say you're 6-9 after at week 15, and Burrow's ready to come back. You think Burrow's going to come? No, Burrow's not coming back. Get out of here. Burrow is not going to come back if you have no chance making playoffs. That's just not going to happen. Okay, that's what Flacco is there for. But if you're, say, 7-5 after 12 or 13 weeks, then maybe we can bring Burrow back in because Flacco has been playing so well. That's all he's there for. Does it give Cincy a life? Sure. I think Chase should thrive. I mean, I don't want to say thrive. I think he'll play to what he's expected to play at. Higgins, same thing. I think you're going to see way more Chase Brown. You're going to see a lot more running. And that's what Cincy should do in the first place. I don't know why they don't run in as much as they should. Like, they don't really run the ball that much. I don't know. But Flacco is a Bengal. And I don't think he's going to start this weekend. But, again, we will see. We are through, like I said, we are week 6 is going to mark us, is going to mark a third of the way through the season. That is bonkers. So for a third of the way, we should break down my playoff predictions right now. Let's start with an easier conference. Let's start with the NFC. And I already have an idea of who's making the playoffs. I just kind of want to write it down as I talk about it to make sure it makes sense. Call me crazy. My 1 seed right now is Tampa Bay. They're the best team in the NFC. My 2nd seed right now is Philly. 3rd is Detroit. 4th is the Rams. Those are my division winners. So now you have 5 through 7, and that's a big toss-up. I would say, realistically, all teams except for the NFC South minus Tampa Bay and the Giants are all in contention here. So I was all on the Cardinals. I don't think that's a realistic way to get. They just aren't as good as I thought they would be, which is a shame because I think they're close though. They're close. Watch for Arizona in the next couple of years. San Francisco has a super easy schedule and they win games. Seattle has been playing unbelievably well. Okay. So now that leaves you one spot for Green Bay, Washington, Minnesota, Dallas. So here's what I'll say. The 5th seed is going to go to the Seahawks. That 6th seed is going to go to Green Bay. And that 7th seed is going to go to the 49ers. That's what I feel right now in the NFC. So from 1 to 7, Tampa is your NFC South division winner. Philly's the NFC East. Detroit is the NFC North. The Rams are the NFC West. Then your wild card spots are Seattle, Green Bay, and San Fran. That's what I think right now. For what it's worth, San Francisco, they stink. They're not a good team. I still think that. They're a first-round exit. Philly would beat them. Green Bay and Detroit, I think Detroit would win that game. If it's in Detroit, Rams and Seahawks, that's a really good game. That could go either way. Just in case we were doing like wild card predictions. Now let's get to the little. This one's a little bit. Sorry, not a little bit. This one's significantly harder. Significantly. I mean, like, I don't even know where I'm going to go with this. I mean, like, in terms of just like the order of who's this one is. I'm still trying to figure out who's going to go where. So let's just start easy. The best team in the AFC, even though they lost, are the Bills. Buffalo is my 1 seed. Right now, Buffalo is my 1 seed. Then that leaves you the AFC South, AFC West, and AFC North. I already know whoever comes out of the AFC North, that's the 4th seed. And I think right now it's Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is the best set is set up the best rather for a playoff berth. That's what I think right now. That then leaves you the AFC West and the AFC South. So the South, there's I'll say 2.5 legitimate contenders there. I'm not totally sold on the Texans yet. In the North, there's one, in my opinion, one true contender. And they showed it to me on Sunday. My 2nd seed is the Denver Broncos. I had them winning the division earlier in the year. I still think they'll win the division now. That leaves my 3rd seed, which is the AFC South. I'm going to give the nod to Jacksonville. They excite me. They're a really good football team. So my division winners from 1 to 4. Number 1 is Buffalo from the East. Number 2 is Denver from the West. Number 3 is Jacksonville from the South. And number 4 is Pittsburgh from the North. Okay. The wild card is where it gets super tricky. But there's 2 teams I want to give quick nods to already. And it could really go in any order. And those 2 teams are the Colts and the Patriots. Indy has played really well. Daniel Jones is he's slowly but surely falling from that mountain. But he's doing it slowly. I still think that Indy's making a playoff team right now. The Patriots. And I don't want to talk about them all right now because I have a segment planned up for them. But my goodness. Drake May. Stephon Diggs. Mike Vrabel. They got something special there. So those are 6. It's just a matter of who's that last seed there in the AFC. There's so many options. Kansas City, the Chargers. If the Ravens can miraculously come back, if the Bengals can miraculously miraculously they're 2 and 3. I don't think the Dolphins or the Jets are realistic. The Texans, Chargers, if I didn't say them. But I just have a hard time seeing that the Kansas City Chiefs not coming to the playoffs. They are not, again, like the Niners, they're not a good team. The Chiefs are an incredibly beatable team. But I don't see a world where they don't make the playoffs. Whether that's because of outside forces or not, I think they make the playoffs. So I have from 1 to 7, Bills, Broncos, Jags, Steelers, Colts, Pats, Chiefs. Now, that sets up some pretty good matchups here. Chiefs and Broncos, that's a 7-2. You got the Pats taking on the Jags. That's a fantastic matchup. That's fun. That's a fun matchup there. And the Colts and the Steelers. Excuse me. I think the Colts will be the Steelers. I think the Jags, that could go either way. I'm not totally sure. I can't make a pick on that right now because it really depends on the game plan for the Patriots. If the Patriots are going ground them, like just pound the rock, then I think that the Patriots might win that one. But if they're going to try and match Jacksonville through the air, I think Jacksonville takes it. Denver and Kansas City, Denver wins it easily. They're not a good team, Kansas City. But those are my playoff pictures right now. I think those are realistic. I'm not going to, don't bank on this, but every 5 to 6 weeks, I'll probably do a playoff picture and see like where we're at there. Let's go to ballers and followers. You guys know we're doing ballers we're doing 3 ballers or 3 teams that are ballers. I worded that really poorly. That's my apologies there. So, who are the 3 teams that were balling out? You got them here, here, and here. Start with Jacksonville. Duval. Liam Cohen. That dude is something else. He has been cooking in Duval on another level. It's been really, really fun to see what they've been able to do. Just need to pull up the box score. Still want to make sure I get the exact numbers here. And a thrilling win after being down 14-0. The Jags won 31-28 in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, 18 of 25, 221, and a touchdown and a pick, 95.58 passer rating. That does not do him justice. He played like a dog. Trevor Lawrence also gave 10-54 and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Travis Hunter finally blossomed, 3 for 64. He also I think he had a couple tackles too, I want to say. So he's doing a lot on both sides of the ball, which is nice. I think he played 60 snaps, 60, I'm pretty sure, snaps. So it's nice to see. Brian Thomas Jr., if you guys did not see on that last drive of the game or last Jacksonville drive, or beautiful catch. And Troy Aikman, funny enough, it's a little hard to see, but you can see right here that this is the Mario Manningham catch. He said, this reminds me of that throw that Eli Manning made against the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That's the one. And that's what Trevor Lawrence did. He put it right in the bucket, and Brian Thomas made a fantastic catch. He finished with 4 for 80. He has still struggled a little bit, hoping we can kind of see him break out a little bit. Speaking of breakout, this dude, maybe I'm geeking out. I feel like he was a borderline bust, but I don't know what kind of superhero run he's on right now. But Devin Lloyd deserves all the props in the world. And I said this last week, and I think I said this a lot during my recap videos. I'm like, I usually get away with it that I don't need to put a Monday Night Football dogs in there. But man, Jacksonville's making me pay a little bit. That's always fun, though. Devin Lloyd, 99-yard pick six. He broke a couple tackles on the way there. That was really fun to watch. I was watching playoff baseball. My Cubbies are not doing too hot right now, but I was watching the box score for fantasy purposes, and I was like, oh, like it couldn't go to Worthy. Did not. Went to Devin Lloyd, and I saw 99-yard pick six. I was like, and I was watching the game, the box score on Bleacher Report, and sometimes they take a little bit longer to upload because like sometimes they just put the play in, then they need to bring it back as like the review or not. So I just wanted to see if it stood or not, and they saw the extra point was going through. I was like, oh yeah, it stood. So that was crazy. Jacksonville, Duval, fun team. Watch out for them. They're cooking. They really are. And those throwbacks with the black helmet and like those, like that beautiful teal, perfect. Love those unis. Houston finally gave me something to like actually be like, okay, good. This team doesn't totally suck. Okay, well, come to think of it, they played the Ravens, who are on like half a leg, but for what it's worth, they beat them. 44-10 was their final score here. We can look here. CJ Stroud, nice bounce back game for him. 23 of 27, 244 yards, and 4 touchdowns to no picks. 143.9 passer rating. Nice day for CJ, the former Buckeye. Had a great game there. Nick Chubb added 11 for 61 and a touchdown on the ground. Really, really good game there for the Houston Texans. Just looking at if there's anyone I missed. Offensively, they dominated. I can't really highlight the defense that much because you went up against Cooper Rush. But look, seeing Houston finally put some games together after being 0-3, look, you're 2-3 now. You're back in it. And look, that win against Baltimore, that might be important down the stretch, where if you're fighting for that 7th seed in the postseason, the Ravens have made a miraculous comeback because Lamar's back with an injury or whatever, and you have the head-to-head over them. That's a massive win for Houston. So Texans, certified ballers there. Let's talk about New England. Sunday Night Football against the Bills in the cold front. unis and the whiteout that gave me chills. I was like, oof, man, I love whiteouts. There's nothing I love more than a good whiteout. Green Bay did one earlier in the season. That was not great, but it just, I just love whiteouts, man. Like they just, and I'm not talking like, I'm not like when, you know who did it really well? Minnesota. The Vikings last year when they broke out their Winter Warrior unis. Man, I was like, "Oof, man!" Monday Night Football and everything, beautiful. That was really nice, and they have a loud atmosphere to begin with. Adding that only made it better. So that was really fun. Going back to the game though, Drake May, he don't care. He slices and slicing and dicing and dicing and slicing. Stephon Diggs, dog. Ramondre Stevenson, he fumbled, but he played pretty well. Henderson didn't really get a lot of snaps. But look, defensively, Gonzo, Colin Davis. I mean, like these guys, Robert Spillane played really, really well. Like this team, Mike Vrabel has a great group of guys, and Josh McDaniels is going to make Drake May a mobile Tom Brady. I hope. I mean, well, as a fan, I hope there's not another Tom Brady in New England. But look, he looked so prepared. Young quarterbacks in a hostile environment like that, he didn't care. He said, "Okay, well, look, it's just another day in the park," and he was throwing like no one else. There was a play, I think it was on the Patriots' last drive of the game that set up the game-winning field goal, or maybe it was the second to last one. Drake May was under pressure, and he had to just like heave it up. It wasn't like heave it up; he had to just throw it somewhere, and he somehow found Diggs, and Diggs got a first down out of it. And I was like, "He's got to be dog of the week." And I looked at their top dog, and I looked and I was like, "Oh, there's someone who needs to be better than them." But Patriots, I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing there, man. And it's not a boring Patriots team that like you guys remember 2019 when the Patriots were like 6-0 or something like that, but they were so bad. They were only 6-0 because their defense was elite. Their offense was horrible. That's not the way it is this year. Their offense is really, really good, really strong and consistent. Their defense, same thing. My biggest concern is Stevenson. He's fumbled the ball a little bit too much. They got to clean that up. If that's it. Other than that, this is a bona fide playoff team. And they have the schedule to easily make it to the playoffs. So I like what they're doing in New England right now. Let's talk about some fallers. Philadelphia. Up was 17-3 or 17-3? 17-3 in the fourth quarter against Denver, who has been struggling this year. Offensively, Bo Nix has not looked great. As a whole, he hasn't looked great. Just as a general statement, he hasn't looked great. But then he turned into prime Troy Aikman, and he was just going right down the field, no questions asked, throwing it to Sutton, on the money, whatever he did. J.K. Dobbins pounding the rock. It looked like a good old-fashioned Sean Payton game. And then, when the new format is you're down by 14, you go for 2 on the first touchdown. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. I think I actually kind of like that. I don't mind that much. Sean Payton, now, what he did was he went all the way down the field, got the touchdown, got the extra point, and then got the touchdown, went for 2, got it, put the Broncos on top. I will say Philly was close to getting that Hail Mary. It was pretty close. And it went kind of viral. Jalen Hurts threw the Hail Mary and he tried to run down the field in case it got tipped and caught. And like that, there's two sides to that. You can either say, "Oh, I love that he's hustling down the field." You can say, "Okay, he's such a cornball. You actually think you can run 40 yards in like 2 seconds to try and catch the tip." I don't know. Something about him. I mean, it's probably this right here that's annoying me. Here, let me make sure you guys can see that. It's probably that right there that's making me think that. But like, I don't know. Something about it just doesn't feel right. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just finding things to complain about. Philly, your offense is not good. They will crush the Giants. I'm not saying that. But this offense is not sustainable. I don't know what A.J. Brown has just done to deserve like no targets, but he's getting nothing. He's getting and if he is getting targeted, he's not doing anything with them. Saquon Barkley, his numbers are lackluster. A majority of games, look, and I know, and is that a good? That's probably a good thing because that means that you're opening up the passing game. But then the passing game isn't really that good either. It's just kind of bland. And you have too many good weapons. You have too many good minds on the sideline. You have too good of an offensive line for that. Goddard, Brown, Smith, Barkley. I like Will Shipley a lot. A.J. Dillon, Jalen Hurts, offensive line of all pros, and you kind of stink. Not sure what that's about. I don't know. Don't really get it. Arizona Cardinals. I was about to say Los Angeles Cardinals. Nope, that's not a team. The Arizona Cardinals. After being up by, what was it, by 15, I want to say, 15 or 16, they blow the lead to the Titans, the 0-4 Titans, and they lose the game. I mean, this is not the first time that Arizona has done this or has almost done this. They did this earlier in the year against the Panthers when they were up by a pretty good margin. Then the Panthers kind of slowly crawled their way back in the game. They didn't win, but the same idea applies. It's just like, man, I don't know if it's Kyler or not. I know there was the play where the snap hit him right in the head, like right in the helmet, which I thought was kind of funny. Just the visual of that was funny. That set up a drive. I will say, one of the wackiest highlights I've ever seen in my entire life, all sports, was what happened in Arizona. So Cam Ward, I think it was fourth down anyways. Cam Ward rolling out to his left, threw it, missed his man. He got picked. Going down, Taylor Demerson, I think is the corner's last name. Going down, he fumbled the ball, and there was a scrum for it, and then it ended up rolling forwards into the end zone, and Tyler Lockett jumped on it, and it was a touchdown. Holy cow, that's crazy. Like, you don't see that stuff a lot. So that was really funny. I mean, but still, Cam Ward played really well. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Cam Ward's a star. He is a star. He's in a really bad spot. But despite that, you can't be blowing leads like that at home. Like, yeah, and you would have won if you fell into the ball. I don't know. And I was all on Arizona. They're missing something offensively. I think. Here's the thing is, as a general NFL fan, if I'm just looking as a general NFL fan, no Giants bias, they don't have anyone that scares me on that team. MHJ is not scary right now. He's not. He's getting there. He's getting that deep threat ability. He's definitely getting there. After a slow start to the season, Trey McBride, he's definitely a top 3 tight end in football behind Kittle and Bowers, but he doesn't scare me. Tight ends don't really do that. James Conner's good. He can run for 100 yards any given week, but he doesn't really scare me. Those are your 3 main weapons. Defensively, Josh Sweat, he's good. Doesn't really, okay, he's good. Buda Baker, I guess, is the only exception here, where he's okay, yeah, that's a really good player. Everyone else is yeah, all right. They're you're playing Madden and you're playing your buddy and you're okay, let's go balance teams, and someone chooses I don't know, I'm just trying to think of a team off the top of my head that's pretty balanced, or that would be lower overall and on Madden. Let's say your buddy says oh yeah, let's go with Washington here, and Washington's an 82 overall. And you're well, Arizona's an 81, so they should be matched up pretty well. But then your buddy destroys you because Washington's way better. I don't know. It's hard for me to figure out what they need more. Something that kicks you. I don't mean this. I don't. The best way I can describe it, they need someone who can kick you in the head and be yeah, okay, this is the Arizona Cardinals right here. They not. Excuse me. The last time they were feared was when they had D-Hop near the end of his prime, and he was still cooking, and J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. That was, in my opinion, the last time that I was like, okay, this is a really good Cardinals team. Other than that, they don't really move me. They're not a super scary team. They're trying so hard to get their next Larry Fitzgerald. Okay, you have one who could be him because he's got pretty much the same skill set. Do something with it. I don't know. And I'm probably just saying this because I put all my eggs in the Arizona Cardinal basket at the beginning of the season, and they're not totally paying me back on that. So I don't know. Another follower is the Chargers. Once 3-0, now 2 consecutive losses to NFC East teams puts them at 3-2. They were up 10-0, and they lost 27-10. Ugly loss. They just don't look like the same 3-0 team that beat the Chiefs early in the season, that beat the Broncos. They just don't look like that same team. And I'm not totally sure why. I don't think it's Herbert. I don't know who to pinpoint the blame on. Realistically, offensive line injuries, not having Joe Walt and Rashawn Slater. Obviously, no, Slater got hurt before the season started, and all obviously got hurt last week. But defensively, the run defense is atrocious. Krosky Merritt was running circles around them. They just have no spark right now. And losing Hampton, who was your offensive spark, that just sucks. Because now you have to rely on Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey. Those are good receivers, but again, similar to the Cardinals, Ladd is great. Keenan Allen is still pretty good even though he's out for how old he is. Quentin Johnson, he hasn't been bad this year, but they're it's a good group. It's not like, oh wow, you win the Chargers this week. Yeah, they're a good team. And it's a shame because they were 3-0, now you're 3-2. Crazy how fast football can change. Maybe adding Odafe Owe and trading away Gilman, even though he was having a good season, we don't really get that change. But maybe adding in an extra defensive lineman who had double-digit sacks last year, maybe that can give them a little bit of a spark that they desperately need to kind of resume how good they were playing in the first 3 weeks of football. Now we're through all of those segments, and as promised, it's time to wrap it up with the signature segment. Week 5, Dogs of the Week. Let's hit it. It is time for Week 5, Dogs of the Week, presented by no one. It's okay. Because we're not here for that. We're here for the true Dogs of the Week. Let's start with a wide receiver from the NFC South, from a winning team who was wearing gold this weekend. Yeah, you're right. I'm talking about Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, we'll get to the other receiver in a little bit. Rashid Shaheed, this dude running around like prime Deshaun Jackson. Stat line, not crazy, but you know what? Look, he had a really good game. 4 catches for 114 yards and a touchdown, 186-yard it was 86 or 87? I think it was 86. 86-yard touchdown for Rashid Shaheed. He absolutely toasted Tyler Newman on a deep route. Shaheed looked really, really good this weekend. Rattler on his own looked really good. Funny enough, Rashid Shaheed was actually part of a tiebreaker with Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, which they were tied at 40% apiece. And I was like, oh, gotta. So again, just be on the lookout for that before I continue to break down what Shaheed did. There might be, this is the second time this season where there was a tie. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. I might, a couple hours before I post or before I record this video, I'll be like, oh, there's a tie. And I'll post, there's a tie, vote for it. And then we'll go from there. If there's another tie again, I don't know. Then we'll have to figure something out. But Rashid Shaheed beat out Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Shaheed, again, 4 catches for 114 yards and a touchdown. He looked really, really good. He was moving. He was flying. Saints beat the Giants in what was a very, very ugly loss for New York. But Shaheed still gets the Dog of the Week nod. I'm going to do this one last. Let's move on to Drake May. I'll be honest, when I was watching Sunday Night Football, I so badly wanted him to be top dog, but I'm like, I looked, I was like, is he? And I looked, and I was like, oh, funny enough, he's not. He's not top dog. But I want to make sure that Drake May got the credit. Him and Diggs were on the same slide, which I'm a little annoyed I did that. But, I for what it's worth, Drake May was fantastic. I think he was more of a dog than Diggs was. Drake May, let me make sure I get the stats right, because that's the most important part of this whole process of giving these guys credit for being dogs of the week. Drake May, 22 of 30 for 273 yards, a 73% completion percentage, no touchdowns or picks, but 101 passer rating. He also had a 3 for 12 on the ground. So the numbers, are they crazy? No, they're really good quarterback numbers. The ground game didn't do much to help. They had 22 for 71 on the ground, and 2 touchdowns from Stevenson, but that's not where they were. May and Diggs were on the same page. Talk about same book, same page, same number, same line, whatever it is. I don't know what book they were reading, but they should read it next week. They were cooking. Diggs had 10 for 146. Honestly, I'm not totally. I don't know. See on my Instagram post. I'll be posting this by the time this video gets posted. It should be out. If it's not, it'll be out on the same day. I'm not sure. Maybe I might put Diggs and May on one. Maybe not. Let's just say it's Drake May for now. Drake May was fantastic. He played so well. Everything I said about Jackson Dart last week applies to Drake May here. He looked poised. He looked prepared. He did not look flat. He looked ready, and he didn't care how loud it was. He didn't care how many. He didn't care if Greg Rousseau was about to sack him. Nope. Okay. Diggs is there. Okay. Good. Completion. Okay. Done. First down. Move him. Oh no, Hunter Henry's there. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Move him. Okay, Sean Booty. Okay. Yeah, you don't care if you're a 6th round receiver. Okay. Yeah, you're open. Done. Bang. Like clockwork. Like it was nothing. He was doing it in his sleep, and he was dominating. I loved what I saw from Drake May. I feel like I've said this already, but he's turning a corner. Just early in the season, you're watching the Patriots turn the ball over against the Steelers and lose 21-14. You're like, oh my gosh, the Patriots suck. And now they're beating the Bills. Crazy how fast the NFL can come at you. But I'm telling you something. Drake May, he excites me a little bit. Something like John Gruden says, and like Danny said on DK Film Room, man, Drake May, he's making me feel a little nicey. He's making me feel nicey over here. I'm really happy about Drake May. He's been playing really good football for the New England Patriots, which is exactly why they're in a playoff spot right now. This dude, my next dog of the week. This dude, man, I don't know how he's done it. For the 3rd time this year, for the 3rd time in 5 weeks, he has been named to a dog of the week. Emeka Egbuka. And it's not Ohio State bias. Okay, yeah, you know what? That's true. I'm a Buckeye fan. That is true. 110%. But you can't deny how unbelievably good Emeka Egbuka has been. This dude is a superstar. Not a star, he's a superstar. Let's look at these stats. Emeka Egbuka finished with 7 catches for 163 yards, a touchdown, a long of 57. Dude is a certified BALLER baller. He's also a certified dog, hence dog of the week. This is the 3rd time he has made dog of the week this year. I should probably make a tracker and see, because I know Egbuka has been. I don't think there's been any other repeats at this point, but Egbuka for the 3rd time this season is a dog of the week. I mean, should he be? Comment below. Do you think he should not be allowed to be on the voting anymore? Should he just be a permanent dog of the week? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe end of the year if I'm doing Talkin Football Awards and we have dog of the year, it might be Emeka Egbuka, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now we're to dogs of the week. It's time to get to the TFP top dog. Now, if you guys are new, here's how voting works. Post 12 players across 3 slides on my Instagram story. You guys vote for your dogs of the week. May, Shaheed, and Egbuka were all voted on by you guys. Top dog is chosen by me. And it would have been Drake May until I looked at some stats and I said, oh, no way, Jose. I totally forgot about how insanely good of a day this dude had. former Cowboy, current Carolina Panther running back, for his first 200-yard day of rushing. My top dog for week 5 is Rico Dowdle. This dude was pounding the rock like his life depended on it. So, if you guys do not know, Chuba Hubbard is currently out with an injury, so they have to turn to Rico Dowdle, who they signed in the offseason. Dowdle finished with 23 carries, 206 yards, 1 touchdown. That's a little bit less than 9 per carry. Long of 53 yards. He had 3 runs of 20 or longer. He also had 3 for 28 on the ground. So that's an overall of 234 yards total through 20. Well, how many carries did he have? 23 and 3 catches. That through 26 touches. That is an unbelievably good day. Every single time they handed it off to him, he was getting 5 to 10 yards, anywhere in between that. That is what you call pounding the rock. And, I mean, you know what? Maybe I should put top dog, second top dog, Eric Collins. That dude was calling an unbelievable game. I mean, I'm used to calling it. I'm used to hearing him call the Hornets, obviously, but outside of that, hearing him call the Big 12 for Fox, hearing him on the NFL, like Waddle was wide open, and Tua dropping, he's got Waddle. I mean, I'm like, wow, like I love that enthusiasm. Even on like 2-yard runs, he's just out of his seat. Great for the game. Love to see that stuff, and I love to see the enthusiasm he brought for Rico. Rico was outstanding. Hence, top dog nods for Rico Dowdle. That is his first top dog notch of his career. Because personally, I think top dog for 1 week of the NFL season is more important than the MVP. It's more important. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Thank you all for watching the week 5 recap. I cannot even talk right now. And thank you for choosing the Talkin Football podcast as your source of NFL content. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. What you want to see next. If you guys want to see me break down, maybe do shorter videos, I'm totally open to that. Just tell me what you want, and I will send it out. Be sure to also be on the lookout on my Instagram account. I know the other day I posted a stardom sit-em. If you guys want that stuff, I know I don't do individual fantasy videos like during the regular season. I might sprinkle in some fantasy stuff. But if you guys want me to start doing that a little bit more, absolutely let me know. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you guys are seeing this, this is Talkin Football, and that's what I got to say about that.